All right. So instead of going alphabetical order, we're going to skip that as we are into pick and ban. Look at that, guys. The timing is great. Guys in the chat, thank you so much for being interactive with us. I love it so much.
I got that
We do
elven
have
hair.
Elrond on the cast. He looks so good with that hair.
Oh, why, thank you.
Yeah. So Silas and Ashe immediately out the doors. I like that. I think Silas is a very powerful champion. He does so much. He's very strong, and the flexibility he has with the hijack ultimate is just really hard to deal with. So I respect the ban absolutely.
Yeah, especially depending on what you want to pick, you'd just be giving him the same ultimate. So if you've got like, 3 really good ultimates, well, so does the other team. So like, I know a lot of counter pick is like you pick Maokai and you pick Silas, so you both have that Maokai engage. So I think that's a really good ban to make sure the enemy team cannot have the same type of ultimates that you have, depending on how useful they are. Because some are totally not useful at all, but he could still Ashe's arrow, a lot of CC ults, a lot of things, and really change how the game is played.
So the Singed ban is interesting to me. I don't think I've seen anybody ban Singed in a really long time. It must be a specific target at our top laner over on Eman Mate. But the one ban in here that makes 100% sense is that Taric.
Yeah, Taric in the right hands is a really, really scary support with the immunity to damage, can't die, and the biggest skill expression on him is knowing exactly when to use that ultimate, and you can use it at the wrong time and totally like lose a fight, or if you time it perfectly, the other team can just run you over and you don't even get to do any damage back to them.
Especially when Unknown was able to use that to win the finals last time. It was the Taric Varus with, I believe it was Kiroro on the Taric and Calavir on the Varus. They were able to just destroy everything those last 2 games. So I really respect the ban there. The Malphite pick was interesting because when I was looking over the teams, I noticed that there was a lot of... Oh, no, yeah. I can't read, guys. I can't read. I don't know why I even try.
A Malphite enthusiast, or enjoyer,
Yes.
as people would say.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say, is it made it through the draft, but I thought it was on the other team. I thought he was picking it away, but it's because I have Unknown written on the right of my page and E-Man on the left, so I got it confused. Either way.
Yeah, I don't even see any Singed play on the team, so I'm wondering...
Maybe it's because it's strong into Malphite, right? He's able to just get that wave clear and hold them under turret.
Magic damage dealers.
But the Pantheon and the Veigar locked in. I wonder if either of those is going support, or do we have a jungler and a solo laner?
You can play Pantheon top as well. I don't... Probably... He's not like a super popular champion, but he is strong for what he can do. I'd assume that we might see it in... It could even be mid lane. But, yeah, he's got really good CC. If he's in the support, he just point and click CCs you. If you have a really good ADC that can follow up and deliver some damage, you can kind of one-shot people almost at level, 2. So you have to be really careful with that, with the point and click CCs. Those ones are super frustrating, because you can't dodge them.
No, you
They
can't.
just click you and you're CC'd, so you have to play a little bit different when someone has that strong of a CC.
Absolutely. I like the Morgana pick because the Black Shield, especially in the support position on an Aphelios, will be very helpful, right? Being able to walk through either the Veigar stun, or if you can time it right, stopping the Shield of Zonia. Isn't it? It's Shield of Zonia? Aegis of Zonia? I can't remember. The Pantheon W like you were talking about.
Yeah, and, I mean, all 3 of those camps she's good into, because she can stop all of their stuns. Of course, Veigar can break the shield fairly easily, but the initial stun or the knockup from Zac or Pantheon jumping out, it'll stop those, so you can flash away, back up, and get out of there. So I think that's a really good pick into the heavy CC that they're bringing.
All right, we're into our last 2 bans now. The Soraka goes away. That That's really interesting because Morgana's already locked in on the other side. I wonder, do they think that that's going to be the solo lane Morgana?
Possibly. Or no. Well, I see Death plays a lot of Soraka. I don't know if that's mid or just off-roll support, but I do see 122 games on
That's a
Soraka.
big
So.
number. Holy cow.
And it looks like he's pretty much a mid laner. I mean, probably support off-roll maybe, but or top lane. I mean, I can see some of the play, but I mean, it could be a mid lane pick. And Soraka can actually be frustrating in some lanes because just early, some of these champs just can't out damage your healing.
Yeah.
And so she just hits you with the Qs and autos, and you just lose the trades because of the healing.
All right. Zyra is locked in for the side of Eman Mate. The flexibility with their draft is, I believe they're locking in a marksman 5th pick. They want to wait and see what else is going. Maybe to pick something mobile like Zeri or Lucian, or if they don't need to, they can pick the Kog'Maw or something like that. But I can respect the hold on that, unless it's going to be, Pantheon Veigar bottom, which would be also crazy.
Or Zyra,
that could be a lot of fun.
Veigar bottom is a possibility. That's a lot of CC down there.
Well, and then that just makes the Morgana all the more powerful. And Big Ben says that Death Raka mid is cracked. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's where the band was going towards, because
that's wild.
62% win rate on Raka. 122 games.
That's huge. That's a huge win rate. Oh my gosh. Yep, there it is. Death posting it himself.
Are we getting the dog?
Are we getting the dog? Might get the dog, and that's a really good thing because they have a lot of crowd control and they have a lot of physical or magic damage. So getting this physical stuff will be really, really good for them. And there is our draft, everybody. Team Unknown on the blue side on the left, and Eman Mate on the red side on the right. And it is the double crowd control bot lane there with the Veigar Zyra.
Yeah, and Veigar does a ton of damage as the game goes on because of his infinite scaling. I mean, I've been able to auto towers like 2 or 3 times and kill them like in the super late game with a full build. So, and they have heavy scaling in the bot lane between Veigar and Aphelios. Of course, Veigar, if the game goes long enough, outscales everyone, but Aphelios scales like a monster as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who can really get going in this game.
I remember, Proden, you and I were casting another tournament a while back, and we watched a full tank Jarvan get literally one-shot by a Veigar ultimate. Do you remember this?
Yeah. I think I do. I don't know. I've one-shot someone with a W the other night when I was playing Veigar, so the support walked up, I hit it with a W, they died from full health, so.
Got it. So, a lot of damage on the side of Eman Mate on the red side, but a lot of resistance and tankability, durability, if you will, on the side of Unknown. What do you think will win out in the end? Will the scaling and the damage be enough? Will the crowd control facilitate enough of that, or is the disengage and the durability on the side of Unknown going to conquer here?
I think, well, one of the teams is going to have a harder time in the late game, and I think, you know, you have an Azir, Aphelios, you've got a ton of engage with Malphite and Sejuani. I think you got to, like, put this team down early, because yeah, Veigar scatters very well, but I don't think your team fights them very well in the late game. I think there's just too much engage and too much range to really deal with them when the game goes late. So I think you want to get ahead, definitely put the mid and bot lane down, and then just use your strong mid game and just crush them before they can scale up.
Yeah, that is a point I hadn't considered when looking at their lineup here. You have the Zyra and the Veigar are the only real range other than Pantheon throwing his spear or the long range engage of Zack's slingshot, but you have kiteability on the side of Unknown, right? You have the Azir poke. Aphelios is nice in range. You're probably going to be wanting to build Gale Force to give him that additional mobility. Morgana can land the binding from far away.
Yeah, you're gonna. I think the best thing is you're gonna want to get picks with some of the CC you have. You know, Zac going in, Veigar putting the cage, then you can't get out. Zyra CCing Panther. You're gonna have to pick somebody off and just get this team going, because if you're fighting in a straight up like team fight, I think you're just gonna have a hard time with the amount of beef they have on that front line. Trying to get through, so you really want to layer that CC, have Veigar try to land an ability and then ult, just blow somebody up. But he doesn't have the longest of range, so him getting close could be dangerous with the amount of engage they have. But if they do get ahead, Veigar's really good at zoning towers. You put the gate up, everyone walks up, you can't walk through it. Zyra will be there to disengage, and if Zac and Pantheon are jumping in on your backline, Nefari can flank and get right in there and just blow up one of the squishies. So it could be tough, but I definitely think you want to get ahead, you want to use that engage, and you just want to keep the other team down. Just force fights the best you can so you don't allow them to scale up.
I think that's the way to go. Absolutely. You never want any team with an Aphelios to scale, or Azir. I mean, just think about later in the game when it's Baron time. One of these two teams is going to take a Baron, and it's probably going to be Team Unknown. With the right guns on Aphelios and Azir just shredding everything, it's going to go down really, really quick. Not a lot of opportunity to interrupt that.
Azir late game can destroy Baron. I don't know if there's anyone faster than him killing Baron.
Kai'Sa or Vayne?
I think Azir's even faster.
That is awesome.
You can put down soldiers over and over, and if you get like 4 soldiers down, you're just shredding through that thing. Yeah, you can get up to
3
4
was the
down.
maximum. You get an attack speed bonus if you have all 3.
No, they took that out.
Well.
They changed them around a bit, but yeah, you can get up to 4 if I remember right. In Earth, you can get more, but.
Well, we are on to Summoner's Rift for game number 1, Team Unknown versus Eman Mate. This is game number 1 of our December tournament for the Progenitor League circuit. We want to thank you once again for taking time out of your Saturday morning to join us. It is always a pleasure to put on these shows for you, everyone, and I am super excited. I don't think we're going to have any shenanigans in the level 1. That wouldn't go so well.
I mean, I think that you could actually with this team. I mean, you do have Morgana. They could invade. I don't think you'd want to invade from the other side, but I think with Morgana you could try to get a pick in there. But it's probably just safer not to at this point, because you really don't want the other side to get a kill on one of the carries.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Typical start there with the red buffs. Just laning stuff going on. I don't think we'll get anything exciting for a little bit.
No, it's going to be a little bit of poking in the mid lane.
Nothing, man. That's always the problem with the early parts of the game, is there's nothing really to talk about. And until we get an engage here, nothing huge, just trades. Oh, but then up on the top side we have a flash burn.
Oh!
Spear goes through, and it is first blood up on the top side for Eman Mate.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Malphite needs to be really careful against Pantheon early, because Pantheon can pretty much maybe 2 full rotations, get you down to half. Do a full rotation, get you to half, do another one and kill you early in the game. Once you get some armor, it's not going to be as easy, and Malphite would just beat Pantheon up. But if this early in the game, Pantheon has a ton of kill pressure on him.
That's one of the big things, right? The earliness of everything. All right, we have another gank here on the bottom side. Zac is going to go in. He does not land the slingshot, and they do make it out alive. Good attempt, though.
Yeah, had that binding hit, they probably would have popped his passive. I don't think they would have been able to kill him as he popped out in his blobs, but you definitely don't want to lose your passive to maybe not getting a nice turret dive and getting a kill or going in.
Another gank on the middle. Sejuani coming in, wanting to engage there. Not enough damage, has to flash away as Shazbot comes in. Able to stave that one off. Flash was burned, though, from Szeth, which is Oriya from last time. He just had a name switch, just in case anyone's confused.
See, there's a good Malphite tread right there. Go in there, slap him, but you probably want to get out right afterwards. When his stun's down, try to get in. Oh, we
Another fight here in the middle. Shazbot is probably going to go into the passive. He makes it out until, for now, Kodo Draco in some trouble as Zeth goes in to fight him in the jungle. And he does go down. Zeth picks up the kill.
Yeah, I'm a dog fan, and she snowballs really hard when she gets going. So you definitely don't want to be giving Neferi any kills early in the game, because believe it or not, she's actually not terrible in the late game when you get all the items. I've gotten plenty of quadra kills on her, just running through everybody.
Ooh, nice jump away there from death as the roam comes in from Chime Bar Torture.
All flashes are both down mid, no flashes anywhere but bot lane has 2 flashes. Yeah, so Aphelios has no flash, mid has no flash, top, so you can probably get some good ganks for Zac if you go to any of these lanes right now. I'd probably try to hit mid again, get Neferi snowballing through. Don't let Azir scale up, keep him down.
Gotta be able to get ahead like we were talking about. Level 4, that's the stun down onto the Azir, but they are going to pick up the kill. Barrett comes in and takes that one with the cheese wheel. Nice roam down from him to protect in the jungle.
Yeah, that's really good for Barrett. Gets back into the game after that kill, so you can do that tanky point where Pantheon can't really threaten him anymore.
Now, I was going to say that we're not seeing a whole lot of action down in the bottom side. Everything's pretty calm considering the lane matchup, but the potions difference is actually what I'm looking at here. Calavir is out of them while Asian Dia, I just now saw that name, that's fun. He has it, he still has his, nope, just chugged it. Wanting to stay in as long as possible, get the best back he can. Nice dodge there from the Dark Binding.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 kills in the game right now, but the game is actually, it's not really going too fast right now. Like, Dragon's still up. Someone's really made a play for it. Bot lane's kind of pushing in. They're getting a little low. I would probably want to definitely get this Dragon on Team Unknown side. You have 2 big tanks. They're gonna, being able to have better stats, be able to tank all this damage, especially if Veigar, starts to scale a little bit. You want to be able to take his burst and not just get blown up right away. So I think probably prioritizing some dragons, get the bottom lane push, gonna get him pushed out of lane, and then try to take the dragon with your higher DPS in the bot lane.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things why bot lane has the duo lane, right? You want it in close proximity to the Drake. You want to be able to take those every time you can. And when you have such a zoning tool like the baby cage from the Veigar, it just makes it all the easier.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to try to take that dragon with the CC they have there. If Zac gets a knockup, Veigar can put his baby gate down, and then you can kind of burst out whoever gets trapped if it's a squishy. You do have the Morgana show, but you don't. But you want to be, saving that for specific times and when they hard engage you, not necessarily when they're just looking for some soft CC.
Right, this might be some trouble here for Calavir. He's able to dodge out all the damage, and we're just waiting. Waiting and watching. Another gank in the middle lane. Doesn't go anywhere. Shazbot still has his passive if I'm reading that right. No, it's gone.
Yeah, it has a really long cooldown, so I'm not sure if it is up yet. But he'll want to play a little serious. Yeah, I like the dragon take right here. Get him pushed in, start this dragon, zone him out with Morgana. Nice binding.
Oh,
looks like they're gonna get
we
this
got
one.
it wrong. So Team Unknown does secure the Drake, and they're chasing after E-Man. Nothing else will really happen there.
Yeah, I really do like that play, going for the dragon right there. Get that bottom push in, immediately go over, start it up and go over and help. You have the higher DPS. It's going to be really hard for them to get that dragon from you. Really good play right there to start the dragon stacking.
We have a Pantheon in the bottom side. Are we going to see a fight here? No, he is going to back off. Nothing to really go for at that point. but everything looking pretty good. Still only those 3 kills. Even gold. No turrets have been pushed yet. I don't think we've even lost some plates.
No, we do have level 6 for Veigar, or Agent and Undead. Okay, bottom lanes are both now level 6, so we might see some plays here soon with all the ultimates up.
A gank up here in the top side. It is turning into a 2v2. A nice flash from Bear, getting him out. Do we see the roam from Naafiri? No. Pushed underneath the turret. But another slingshot jumping in. Interrupted by the Arctic Assault. Well done there by
Nice
Kodo
play,
Draco.
Kodo. Yeah, it was really good.
More fights here on the bottom side. Just poking a little bit here and there.
Yeah, just poking and farming in the bot lane. No one's really tried to go for an all-in or a kill at this moment. Mid lane still, Naafiri does have a bit of a lead in the mid lane. It's nothing insurmountable, but Azir just trying to do his best to farm up, scale up, keep Naafiri at range. Azir can, if Naafiri all-ins Azir now, he can actually, push him back now, so it's not quite as scary as it was pre-6. And so you have to be really careful when you're all-inning Azir, because you get shoved under a turret or pushed over into, like a Sejuani gank, so that the dynamic of the lane changes a bit right now.
I want to talk about our CS numbers because there aren't huge leads anywhere. You got the 10 in the mid lane, but like look at mid lane in general and bottom lane. Oh, never mind. We have an all in there from Bear. Chime is able to stave off a little bit of the damage, but Bear gets the solo kill. Revenge for the first blood.
Yeah, see, Malphite just needs to scale to that point where Pantheon's damage just really isn't scary anymore, and he took advantage of it right there and just blew him up with the full combo.
I love it. What we like to see. And an interesting choice there. The Sheen means that we're going Frostfire Gauntlet on the Malphite. I think that's a good item, especially in the lane matchup against the Pantheon and the damage that Naafiri is going to be doing. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot.
I like it too, because if you do ult in and you get that first auto attack on someone, well, now everyone's slow, so it's really hard if you survive the Malphite engage to get out before the rest of the team can engage on.
Speaking of engage, we have 4v4 on the bottom side. A lot of damage already down onto Eman Mate, but they pick up the first kill. Passive on the Zac is in. Another root there. Zeth picks up the kill onto Death. It is a 1-for-2. Make that a 3-for-1, and Eman Mate are up really, really far in this fight. Calavir wants to keep going in. He has the long range of the Calibrum, but he does not have the damage. Zeth goes on a killing spree on the Naafiri.
Wow. Veigar barely lived there. I don't know how much health he had, but it wasn't much. Oh, and now Naafiri has 3 kills, so it's going to be really scary for Aphelios or Azir, who gets caught out by Naafiri. He pretty much can just one-shot you at this point and take you right out. So you're going to need to really play safe and ward your flanks. She has a ton of burst damage you can engage from a pretty decent range.
I just got word from production. It was single-digit health on the Veigar. Single-digit.
That's crazy.
All right, Rift Herald is summoned. Not just taken, summoned in the middle lane. We're finally going to get some plate gold here onto Kodo, Draco, and Death. They're going to like that. Another engage in the jungle, but Blast Cone will keep Kodo safe. And that wasn't as impressive a combo from the Naafiri as I was hoping. The completed Hydra already at 14 stacks. Shazbot wants to go in. Doesn't go any further than that. Kiroro lands the binding, and they're going to disengage.
That is 0 damage. That was that was big on Shazbot.
And it's going to get worse when he completes an item.
Yeah, Naafiri, when you don't go armor pin or early, or lethality, early, your damage isn't quite as high with your combo, but the ability to shrug off the poke with the build Naafiri's going right now is going to help heal off the wave. Your Q's going to proc the AoE, so you can clear the waves real fast against Azir, which Azir pretty much just wants to shove that wave on you, but when having the Ravenous Hydra makes it a lot easier to deal with that, and you can heal up with the poke afterwards.
That interaction there that we just saw, where Death is able to dodge out the engage from Naafiri, it's so telegraphed with the W that I don't know. I think that that's really well timed. It's a really good thing to recognize and to be able to do. But at that point, what do you do as Zeth if you want to fight? Because you're always going to end up underneath the turret exactly like that. And especially with Kodo Draco on the engage here, Zeth is going to need to be careful. But because of the dashes, ooh, it still lands the Arctic Assault. No, the prison rather. Zeth is healing a lot, very mobile. We need to see the roam down. Gonna get slowed by the honey fruit, but he's doing quite a lot of damage. It's not enough. Shutdown gold over to Death.
That is huge for Death. That's gonna really get Death back into this battle here. Be able to get that first item a lot quicker. Be able to pump out more DPS. You know, it was pretty far behind, but getting that much gold in that shutdown, that's a great place for that to go, and I'm glad they got it onto Azir so he could kind of get back into this.
Nice Dragon Steel from the bottom side of Eman Mate. They know there's no ultimate, and they had a lot of chasing up on the top side. Is this the fight, though? Let's bounce goes Shazbot. Unstoppable Force is Bear, but now he's in a 1v3. Baby Cage is up. Ultimate from the Aphelios does not land, but somehow the Morgana bind?
Wow, that was... that must have been the last pixel at the end of that.
I think it was the last half of a pixel catching on the last half of the pixel of the hitbox on the Veigar. And, oh, I've been corrected as a sub-pixel, not a half a pixel. But first turret is going to go to Eman Mate up here on the top side. Chime Bard Torture is able to take that one down.
The game is still extremely close. I mean, only 800 gold ahead. Yeah, the game's going, you know, nobody's really playing like poorly right now. You know, I've made some mistakes, but I do think that overall they're trying to do what they want to do. They're trying to heavy engage. You know, you've got the disengage and then just sit back and DPS like Team Unknown wants to do. I think the Malphite ult was really good, but nobody could follow up with it. Had someone been close enough, I definitely think they get a double kill down there. So I like what they're looking for. Just they need to get a little bit more coordinated so they can all follow up with the damage.
Yeah. We're still only within 800 gold difference here. You know, Eman gets the turret is basically it. It's the deciding factor. Everything else is even. And we're going to get into that scenario we were talking about, right? Will the damage... Oh, never mind. Calavir is in some trouble. He's going to get... Oh, the flash out. He's got the red gun. Is that enough, though? No, it is not, as Asian secures it with the ultimate and the flash.
Yeah, I was about to say, if he has that ultimate up, he is going to blow you up. You need to be careful, but he almost won that. That was really close. Maybe, you know, had he got another lucky crit or two, he would have won that fight before he got low enough to use that ultimate.
3v2 up on the top side. Zeth and Shazbot go in to save Chime. The Let's Bounce does a lot of work, but it's not enough to stop Bear. In goes Death. Ultimate from the Sejuani will pick up that kill, but now Shazbot is down into the passive. There's no way he's out of this one. Death brings about his namesake.
Yeah, and the gold is now only about... Oh, it's about 1,000 up now?
Yeah, it's 1,000.
It's about 1,000 now. Rift Herald will help push that a little more. Second Rift Herald isn't quite as important as the first one because there are no plates. But if you use it right, you can get multiple turrets, which is probably where the worth... Oh man, half health on 2 hits right there.
Yeah. The Veigar is scary, man. He's already working. He has the needlessly large rod. That means probably a Shadow Flame coming next, going to give him that extra magic penetration. And it's terrifying. Because we already saw how effective he was in the bottom side.
I would say that with the Rift Herald they just got, you would probably want to use that to secure the dragon. So maybe hold on to it to kind of like, well, you come and try to take the dragon from us if this is going to push through your tower. Or you're going to have to come over here, or you have to go stop it, or you're going to have to come here and make them make a decision if they want to stop the Herald or if they want to go fight the dragon. That's probably how I'd use the next Rift Herald for maximum, you know, use. Sometimes, you know, you can't set it up like that, but that's usually what people want to do is you try to put the Rift Herald somewhere it's going to get a tower or not go low enough, and then make people decide what they want to do.
So the other thing we need to talk about is the teleport timings, because all 4 teleports in the game are going to be available. So what extra lane assignments are we going to see? Not just the Rift Herald. Oh! Ooh. That was close. Almost landing a knock up there onto Calavera. That would have spelled death for him for sure. But what splitting are we going to see from these teams? Do we see the full fight at the Drake? It's only the second Drake for either team, so I don't know if it's worth truly, full on engaging to stop where you can get turrets instead. I think there's a greater value on the sides.
Well, yeah, you probably put your mid and your top in the split lane. I don't know really who's going to deal with Malphite though, because I don't. Nefari's got more of a bruiser build, it looks like, and I don't think Pantheon can really deal with Malphite right now. So you probably just want to get in there and just shove your waves, wait for Dragon to come up, and try to get some flanking wards for one of them or both of them. Because, well, I guess Pantheon can just ult from wherever, but get a flanking ward for Nefari. That way, when you are setting up this fight, maybe get the baby cage down, Nefari can engage on the back line.
Well, there is the Rift Herald summoned, setting up for that Drake. It is alive now. We are going to have the fight, but it does not crack the turret. I think the timing was just a little bit off on that.
Yeah, they probably.
But now Shazbot's in a dangerous spot. Calavera already just dealing so much damage with this Aphelios. He's got the white gun, meaning that he can get the DPS down really, really quick. I'm still of the opinion you don't need to go and fight this.
No, you can let this one go right now. No one's on.
Oh, but the engage comes in from Team Unknown. All of the crowd control shut down Asian. He is out. Undead Strider also out. Big swing here for Team Unknown. They get 2 kills very easily, I might add, and they secure themselves a second Drake. Without those players, they might even be able to give the shove and take the mid turret. I
really like the target that they engaged on right there, because Veigar is the one that's really the threat on this. You take him out, it's really hard for them to do anything against your team.
A lot of damage there. Shazbot cannot engage that way. As long as Arctic Assault is up from Kodo Draco, he can't slingshot. It's so unfortunate.
Let's see, Baron is up right now. It doesn't look like anyone wants to go for it at the moment. I think it would be a good time to go for it if they wanted to, but it looks like they're just probably going to push waves, go back and buy. You do have to be really careful at this point into the game though if you do get a pick on a jungler or someone, because of how fast Team Unknown can burn down the Baron. Like you can't be leaving them in a position to be able to rotate over the Baron really fast, or you'll lose it before you have a chance to get back over there. So they really need to find a pick, probably Aphelios or Azir. You have to pretty much kill both of them if you want to win fights right now. The way they killed, Team Unknown had killed Veigar to win the Dragon. I mean, you've got to pick off those threats. And really, they're only a one threat team with just Veigar. I mean, Nefari is fed, can do a lot, but it's really hard for her to get in the backline with all the CCs, so you really need Veigar to stay alive and be able to pump out the damage and keep him up. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to be able to play that style and maybe get a pick on these carries really quick, get some CC on them, because they're going to have to burst them out really quick if they want a chance to win these fights.
Flash used from Zeth, but Death makes it out. The range on the disengage from Azir is actually silly.
Yeah, if you Shurima shuffle just right, you can get pretty dang far.
Alright, let's see if this combo will take down Bear. He is a tanky boy, he's just going to flash away. Does have the Unstoppable Force available if he needs it, but yeah, you're exactly right. The amount of armor that he's able to build into the Pantheon matchup just makes Pantheon's damage obsolete, and then Zac is building tank. So you're never going to kill that guy.
No, you need Veigar big enough to be able to actually chunk him out, and he's not quite to that point yet where he can really start slapping Malphite. He is working on the death cap though, so that's going to significantly boost his damage. You might be able to see some real damage coming out of him after that towards the tanks, but it's rough. You've got to really play that comp by picking people off, or disengage and re-engaging on them, because you can't let Azir and Aphelios sit in auto attack, because they're gonna melt Zac at this point.
Yeah.
And you really need to get somebody caught in the baby cage or in the Zyra ult and burst them out. You've got to get one of these carries if you want to win these fights.
Production, can we get an update on actual ability power numbers on the Veigar? Oh, interrupting the combo there. Death is in some trouble. Shazbot makes it work. Death picks up the kill. I like that. That coordination was exactly what they needed. They needed to interrupt that dash.
Yeah, that's exactly how they need to play that. They need to be picking off these carries and then force like a 5v4, because I think they're really good in the 5v4.
Strider in some trouble, does get knocked up, does make it, oh, almost makes it out. Calavir lands the ultimate for the kill. It was super close. Dead Strider is caught out again, though.
Yeah, and that just stops everything they want to do once they lose someone on their team. Like, they got a really good pick, and they really need to group and then push their advantage at that point, because I don't think they can fight the 5v4s at all like that. When one of the carries is down, I think it's just too much. So you really need to get in there.
Uh-oh. Asian might be in some trouble here. He just wants a blue buff. Leave the little man alone. 661 ability power, though, last that we saw. Yeah, at 24 minutes. Like, that's a full build's worth of ability power on most champions, and he has it in 2 items.
He needs to get that void staff now so he can really threaten these tanks.
Absolutely.
And then they'll be in a lot better spot, because he's the one who has to kill the tanks. Like, Veigar is everything to... It is the key to your team winning this game. You've really got to get him pumping the damage out and keep him safe. But and you really need to rely on those picks from the Zac, from the Pantheon, if you really want to push this game for yourself.
Are we going Lord Dominic's or Cyrilda's on the Neferi? What do you think?
Probably Cyrilda's. The slow's really good on the bleed. Oh no.
Oh, Undead Strider got caught again.
He's a dead Strider now.
Dead Strider. That's right. That was what we were saying last time. He's not undead. He's dead. All right. So it's E-Man Mate's time to push something else. Take a look at the mid lane. That's exactly what needs to be happening. You got to take something else on the map. And I'll draw attention to it once again. Regardless of what else is happening, we are still less than 1,000 gold difference this game. We got to see the gold difference map just a few minutes ago, and it's been within 800 every single moment of this game. Root and blast! Death is dead.
There you go. That's what
gosh.
Veigar could do at this point in the game with that death cap.
And I like the setup there. He had vision with the minions. He throws out the Everfrost and just makes it so that Azir can't move. I love it right here in the chat. We have
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to be doing if they want to win this. They need to get those picks. Like, you can't really team fight against these guys. You need to get picks. You need to blow someone up quick. The 2 carries are going to pump out so much damage onto the rest of your team that if you don't kill one of them instantly, you're most likely not going to win these fights. Like,
Okay,
Timano
now
definitely wants to do that. 2 frontliners up front and the DPS just slamming damage out from behind, where you need... I cannot say their team name. Eminent.
E-Man. Just call him E-Man.
You need E-Man to get that pick, blow somebody out, then re-engage on the team. Like, you can't fight front to back, but then it's the differences in the comms.
So I actually want to say that we've had reduced aggression from these teams because of the last time that they met up. The fights have been so sporadic, they've been so calculated, and I'm loving it, but we need something to happen.
Yeah, they really need to start using these picks they're getting. Whichever team can either get a pick or just, if Team Unknown can get a full team fight and kill a couple people or get an ace and immediately go to that Baron, but they need to get one of these picks and turn it into something, because right now it's not being turned into anything.
This is the Baron we were talking about. Look at the DPS. Take a look at Baron's health. Just melting. Teleport is in. Neferi is going to get the jump onto Kiroro. A lot of damage into the stopwatch. Asian is in. Baron is already secured, but already 1 death as well. Chime and Asian are up on the top side. That's the baby cage down, but the cleanse is in. Doesn't matter. Calavir is dead. Asian goes into his own stopwatch. Shazbot jumps. Let's bounce. Death is going in on Dakota. Draco trying to deal as much damage as he can. In jumps Chime. He is able to secure the stun for the kill. Death throws out the ultimate. Shazbot goes down. Death in onto Death. No more escape tools. The flash is used. Countered. Zeth on to Death, but the blast cone saves him. Bear is now the target. He goes down. Baron is secured by Team Unknown, but they lose 4.
Man, that was a crazy fight. That was like taking place on like almost 2 fronts, that fight, the whole time.
Do we see the re-engaged Death? No, he goes down. It's an ace. All 5 members of Team Unknown died after securing the Baron.
Oh no. And the money doesn't even go to us. Oh, negative
Still
Baron power
800.
play.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I did want something to happen. Thank you for calling that out, Brisbane. That was exactly what I wanted to see happen. And it's that setup we talked about, the crowd control that E-Man brought to the table, the zoning tool of the Veigar and the Zyra, the engage from the Zac. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it really was. You could see how, you could actually see right there how each team wanted to fight. You did have the front to back at first, but then they ended up getting that first pick, which really turned the fight and changed the dynamics of it. And it kind of fell apart after they got their first kill and wiped the Baron off of them. Oh, mouth is
Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. And we're down to less than a minute before the next Drake. This is soul for Team Unknown if they can secure it. But if we get another fight out of E-Man like we saw up at the Baron, then I think they can take it away. Now, I don't know which way I particularly want it to go. I'm going to be honest with you there. But picking up the soul will be huge for Team Unknown, especially to come back from our first 1,000 gold difference, everybody. Congratulations. Let's see some claps in the chat for getting the gold lead to 1,000 plus. Because it's already gone. Now it's down to 800 again. Crazy.
Yeah, that's nice. We do have TPs up on E-Man. We have mid lanes TP up Nefaris. We have, almost all the TPs up except for Veigar. So you can try to TP flank in. You can push those side lanes. You don't have to join until it's actually up. Like, Death just got the tower in the top lane. He's still pushing really hard.
I think that's the play. He has the teleport, and we also need to take a look at flashes. There are more available for the engage. Oh, never mind. I think that's going to be Team Unknown's. Team Unknown's gonna get that Drake. There's no fighting that at this point because you need to send someone to stop the Azir. You lost your support. That's a big part of the zoning tools. And whoop, Asian, nice juke there off of the ultimate. Flash burned. He is still alive. He is gonna get stuck with the permafrost, but well played there from the Veigar. But someone has to deal with Death. He just took 3 turrets.
Yeah, when you see Azir pushing like the top, you need to immediately engage on their team and pick somebody off. You cannot let Azir just sit and go. He just destroys turrets if just left alone.
All right, he backed off a little bit. Teleport is used by Zeth. Charim is here. Shazbot is here. They want to fight. They need to stop this Drake because the soul is on the line.
I'm not sure if I like Veigar's build right now because you can't really hurt the tanks at this point. You really needed that Void Staff to be able to get through those guys because you're the only one that can really put some damage on them from range. Zon uses fine. I probably would have stopped the stopwatch and went for the Void Staff after that. You've got to be able to slow these guys down. You don't have DPS on this team.
Here is the fight. It's coming in. Shazbot is going to fly over the top. Do they get the steal? He does! He takes the Chemtech Drake. He's able to stop the soul from stacking. Shazbot is not even in danger as he is tanky. The fight isn't even here. Kodo Draco in some trouble. Does get the Arctic Assault over the wall. Damage down onto Shazbot. A lot of it. The Azir had him while the binding was in. Kodo Draco almost goes down to the full combo of Asian. Time. Jumping in. And almost finds Kodo Draco. Uses the Scryer's Bloom. Realizes he cannot pick up that kill. Too much around the sides. There we go. Oh! That spear almost landed. Holy cow.
Yeah, you saw the DPS of Azir right now. It just shredded through the Zac. Like, Zac was pretty much a squishy at that point. This is why you cannot let and do a longer fight. The fights have to be faster, E-Man. They've got to be bursting somebody out. You cannot do an extended fight with him or you will lose with the DPS.
With down gold going over. We now have a no, it was the turrets. It was the top lane turrets. 2,000 gold lead here for Team Unknown. They were able to swing that massively because they were down over 1,000 after the Baron fight. So good job to them. They still need to go and fight for that soul. Or actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. In 3.5 minutes, the Drake is gonna spawn. I want Team Unknown to leave that Drake alone and do another split push. Just go and destroy things in the base. That's your win condition here, right? It's just the only way.
You can let the next dragon go and just go for a Baron if you want. Almost got him there.
Yeah.
That probably would have been Denazir, and that would have been a free Baron had they done that. Good look for the pick, because Zir is a massive monster right now. The amount of items he has, he's going to peel through pretty much anybody at this point in the game.
Absolutely, including the Baron. Already, look at that. Already 5,000 damage dealt right there. This is huge.
Yeah.
Where's Shazbot? He needs to be there to make the steal. Undead Strider is going to try something. They don't get the steal. They get the knock up at the end, but that was too clean from Team Unknown. And this goes right back to my point. They have this buff for the next few minutes. They need to work the lanes. The Baron buff is so underutilized in games that I watch because people want to go fight. Or they go directly to a Drake. No, be in the lanes. Get the push with these minions, with this buff. That's what it's designed to be. Engage is here on the middle lane, but Zeth is able to make it out. And we're back to another single-digit health there on that turret.
A lot of things I see, especially in solo queue, is you get the Baron, and then your jungler goes and farms this jungle. The laners just sit in lane and farm. Nobody groups up and pushes, or you don't do like a 1-3-1 or a 4-1 and push lanes. They sit and farm. You've got to use the Baron when you get that advantage. You need to push. You need to try and do as much turret damage as you can. Like, go to your team's strength and split push that in.
So it looked like we were getting that, but instead, huge engage from Death. Undead Strider flashes away, is unable to survive. Shazbot now taking a lot of damage. They're in on the front line. They're going to kill Death. Chime goes down as well. Zach is tanky. He has the passive. He's going to jump out, but Kodo Draco is also tanky. Just going to sit there and take turret shots while Calavir secures the kill. But on the top side, Veigar is able to take a turret and is now fighting Bear on this side. Oh, not enough damage, though. Do we see the bop? We don't. Okay. We got the grouping on the bottom side, at least from Team Unknown. They're using this buff now. It took a minute for them to set it up, but they're able to do it. They get some kills, and they take down a turret.
I think Asian made a mistake there. He should have been grouping back up with his team at that point. He's already pushed that lane so far in that they're going to have to re-push it out. He needs to be grouping up and using that baby cage to stop those engages, or at least disengage. Just stop them from that turret. You know, put it out there, stop minions from coming in, and just try to like blow them up with your dark matter.
And especially because he is the biggest source of wave clear. Nefiri being melee can't just jump in and clear it, even though the Hydra and the Stridebreaker are there. Like you're saying, you know.
Neferi's not going to be able to clear those minions from range. There's no way. You got to have Veigar there to blow them up. And he does have the Void Staff now, so he might actually be able to really threaten those tanks when they're coming in, as long as he doesn't get nuked himself.
We are now approaching the point of the game where stuff is just going to explode. We're almost at 40 minutes. This is 6th Dragon. A lot of damage down onto Chime. That's not good news if you're an E-Man fan, especially because he goes down. Calavir picks that one up. You can't fight this now if you're E-Man, I don't think.
No, they're the team that really needs to get the picks, and they just haven't been very successful with it, like when the objectives are up.
Soul is secured. DPS is huge. Veigar caught out. Flash interrupted. Trying to do the damage he can. Almost gets the kill onto Kiroro. It is not enough. Veigar is down. Zac is down. Pantheon was down from before. This might just be the end of the game. Oh! Hello, Morgana. Stayed a little too close to Undead Strider's plans. And, yeah, that was it. That pick onto Chime was huge.
Yeah. It really was, like, just mispositioned, and they immediately engaged, get the kill. Vygar, of course, did a ton of damage, but not quite enough to get a kill or actually turn the fight around after that. He needs time to just drop all his damage out. Even though he does a ton of burst damage, he still needs to be able to do multiple rotations to get through the
With
tank.
our next engage, the Zhonya's will protect Death for a moment, and Caliber goes unstoppable. They're going to take a second inhibitor, and Team Unknown are on the warpath.
They feel quite a sizable lead right now in gold. I think it's a good idea to leave, go back, spend all the money you just got, and then push bottom. Everyone just group up bottom, push that in, let the minions, super minions, push the other lanes, and just firm fight to back. Pick them off like they're doing, because they're doing really well at getting in the engages they want, and that's what's winning this game. Is they're picking someone off, so they can't layer the CC and blow up the carries. So I just continue to play like this. Death ball down that bottom lane and push the minions in, push the turrets down, and just win the game.
Exactly. And they do have an opportunity for a Baron in just over 2 minutes. I don't think they need to wait that long, though. The way that they've been able to position and to fight has been very effective. But I want to draw attention to the Void Staff on the Veigar and see what our ability power is at this point, because now we're 40 minutes into the game. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, like I said, the tanks are still, he's not going to nuke a tank instantly. Vygar's still going to have to do multiple rotations. I think the best thing is to do, just look for poke what you can on them. Try not to get engaged on. They really need to, Zac really needs to get to that back line with Neferi. And even Pantheon, maybe. They need to blow up the DPS, and then they just win the fights. But it's a little bit harder to do than, just what I'm saying. Because they have really good disengage with Malphite and Kodo. Putting up the what's the ultimate called there?
From which one?
From Kodo.
Glacial Prison?
Glacial Prism, yeah. With the Glacial Prism, it's just really hard to get in there and flank, especially if they know where you're coming from. So but you've got to get these flanks in. I think the only thing you can do right now is try to just all in the back line. As soon as get ready, get some wards out, and everyone just dive that back line and try to kill them as fast as you can with Nefari. Maybe Vygar can CC up their whole team while you're doing it and blow somebody up, but at this point in time, you've really just got to pull the trigger and try to get that pick, or you're going to lose this game.
We're down to the final minutes here. Setup on the Baron is there. Elder Dragon is up in 2.5 minutes. Super Minions on mid and top against E-Man. And the patience here from Team Unknown. They are hanging out in these bushes, just waiting for a misstep, because they understand it's the picks, right? If you pick off either Undead Strider or Asian, then it's over. And this might just be it. Flash burn from Undead Strider. I don't think you go back in there, brother. All right.
Wow. What was that? A Q and an auto in Half-Life? Oh, wow.
It was quite a bit. That death cap on the Azir is also doing a lot of work. And burning with the Liandry's, that's another really, really big part of the DPS there. Undead, nope, Strider got hit with the Dark Binding. That is going to be a death. Death does pick that up. And that's your go button.
You gotta hope Shazbot can steal this.
They have no vision on hit points. He's waiting. They wait. Team Unknown knows what's coming, and they do secure the Baron. Shazbot's in some trouble. Let's bounce to try and do something, but that's going to be the end of the game, Proton. They get the Baron, they get the picks, and now they have all 5 members. They have the super minions. You just rush up mid lane and end this. Oh my.
Woo.
Oh my. Kiroro does make it out. That was close.
Yeah, just get your super minions pushed in, use your Baron, shove in, just take the turrets. You don't even need to rush. You don't even have to get a pick if you want. You've got enough damage, you'll just melt these turrets real quick.
And when you've got 2 super tanks and mega DPS out of your 2 carries, you can be patient, just like you're saying. Death might be in some trouble. He gets stunned up, goes into the Zhonya's form. Death now getting knocked up by the Malphite. Damage underneath the turrets. Death is still barely alive. Kodo Draco makes it out. Pantheon is getting knocked back. Kodo Draco gets the kill onto Chime. It's a 1-2 for 0. No, Shazbot is still dead from before. Kiroro gets the kill onto Undead Strider. Asian has no flash. He throws onto Baby Cage, trying to do what he can. The wave clear from Zeth and Asian is probably not going to be enough. Shazbot comes in, wants to help get the kill onto Death. Les Bounce is already back up. He's jumping on him, dealing as much damage as he can. Nice shield there from the Shifting Sands. Asian goes down. Turrets are down. Nexus is, I want to say down, but no, they're going to go pick up the kill onto Zeth. There it goes. There it is. And game number 1 goes over to our previous champions, Team Unknown, in game number 1 of our December tournament.